Before this year, I have only used gas mowers. This year, I started collecting battery-powered mowers. I did a lot of research last year, and I thought I knew what I was getting myself into. I thought they would be the right choice. But here's the thing. I now own 7 battery-powered mowers, and I've been using them for the past 6 months, and I have been very surprised about a number of things. Today, I want to share with you 6 of the most surprising things that I've found, things that I didn't expect when I started using battery mowers. First of all, I had no idea that almost every battery mower on the market was underpowered. Essentially, they all have more power than they're able to put out. All 7 lawnmowers that I have, some of them are the most premium battery mowers that you can get. They all offer power at a lower rate than what they're capable of delivering. You know this because when you turn them on, virtually every single one of them starts out louder, stronger, with more energy in the blade, and then within a second, they rev down. I know this because I turn them on the sidewalk or on the driveway before I start on the grass. They all start stronger, and then they rev back, and they attempt to match the amount of force needed for the grass that you're about ready to cut. If the grass that you're about ready to cut is taller, thicker, wetter, then they might power up to get through it well. But in most cases, if you're tending to the grass regularly and your grass isn't overgrown, then they stay operating at the lower power, mostly for battery length. Because they're not putting out maximum power the whole time, the battery can last longer, which means you can use the mower for more minutes on a single charge. Is that good? Could be, but it surprised me. The second most surprising thing to me about battery mowers this year was that every battery mower out there has a blade that is thinner than regular gas lawnmower blades. Like literally, the blade is skinnier. And when it's skinnier, it can actually like bend and flex. Every single one of them have blades that are thinner than the regular gas blades. I have 7 battery mowers. The mower that has the thickest blade of them all is the Toro Recycler. It's got a blade that's 1/1300ths of an inch thick. And that one is approaching normal. Like it's not even thick, it's normal. What has surprised me is that not only are the battery-powered lawnmower blades thin, but some of them are very thin. For instance, Sunjo, Earthwise, these mowers have blades that are 7/100ths of an inch thick. And there are probably others out there that I haven't measured. When blades bend, then they don't cut evenly. Sometimes they carve into the ground. They just get caught up on one side and they'll bend down and it will create an uneven cut. For the most part, when you tend to your lawn regularly, this isn't an issue. However, the thinner the blade gets, the poorer the cut quality is, and the more fragile the blade is. It basically needs to be sharpened more often because there's just not as much material to stand up to use. A third significant thing that I did not realize, not only are these lawnmowers designed to cut the grass without expelling too much of their battery, one of the ways that they do this is by not spinning the blades as fast as gas-powered mowers. Now, regular gas-powered mowers, usually, every brand is a little bit different, but they usually spin their blades somewhere around 3,000 to 3,100 RPMs. Some of the brands might go down closer to 2,900, maybe 28, but the thing is, the average battery-powered lawnmower out there spins their blades about 10% slower. So for one, the blade is thinner, so it doesn't have as much material, it's not as weighty, and it doesn't spin as fast. 2,700 RPMs is what Ego and their Select Cut and all of their 56-volt lawnmowers spin at. Many of the others, Greenworks, Sunjo, some of the other brands spin at 2,800 RPMs. The only battery-powered lawnmower that I know of that spins the blades in the same speed zone as gas-powered mowers is the Yard Force. It's a 120-volt machine and it spins its blade at 3,000. And what's interesting, not that I've ever done this, but handy people, mechanics, can go and take a gas-powered lawnmower and crank up the speed if they want. Now, eventually it becomes dangerous, and most people don't do it, but it is possible. With a battery-powered mower, you are limited to what the little internal computer tells that mower to do. You're not going to get the same tip speed on the end of the blade when it's spinning slower. So the cut quality isn't going to be the same. Now, the next thing that has surprised me a lot about battery-powered lawnmowers is the fact that I don't like using the self-propelled features on most of them. I just don't. Now, I live on a hillside. Large parts of my extended yard are hills, and in those areas, yes, I do like using self-propelled. When I'm tending to my actual lawn, like the nice yard, I really don't like using the self-propelled features. The self-propelled features require more energy out of the battery, so the battery doesn't last as long. In some cases, the self-propelled is clunky, so when you go to engage it, it takes a second for it to start moving. Some of the lawnmowers, when you engage the self-propelled, it slowly accelerates to full speed. Some of the self-propelled lawnmowers go too fast at full speed. Some of them go too slow at full speed. Most of them you can change the speed however you'd like, but something about changing the speeds on the fly, like as you go. When I mow by hand without using self-propelled, I change speeds all of the time. Sometimes I'm going fast, sometimes I'm going slow. With the self-propelled, it's just clunky to use. And battery-powered mowers are so light that when they throw the self-propelled features onto them, it actually adds bulk and weight, so it makes a light mower a little bit heavier. If you take that weight off, these mowers, I mean, I don't want to call them toys, but they are really, really easy to move around the yard. And I just prefer using them in the push format. Not only the self-propelled add weight and bulk, but it adds price too. So if you're buying a battery-powered lawnmower with self-propelled, you're going to end up spending more money in the long run for features that you might not even want to use. They sound great, you think you're going to use them, but when it comes down to it, I don't use them that much. The fifth thing that has surprised me the most is the sensitivity that these batteries have to water. Now, I knew that battery-powered mowers shouldn't really get wet, but I didn't really fully understand how sensitive some of them are to water. For instance, I left one of my lawnmowers off of the side of my lawn, and the overspray of the sprinkler that kind of hit it a little bit for an hour was enough to waterlog the battery compartment. And then I had to leave the battery out just on a table in my garage for a full week for it to dry out enough to be able to turn the lawnmower back on. Some of these lawnmowers are more water resistant than others. Some of them I have left in the sprinkler for like an hour straight, direct shot. A couple of my lawnmowers I've left in the rain, and they will resist water. The covers over the batteries are waterproof enough that they keep everything inside dry. But that's only if you've got the battery door closed all the way. If the battery door isn't closed tightly, some water could get in there. And once a little bit of water gets in there, then it kind of shuts the whole machine down until everything dries out. With gas-powered lawnmowers, yeah, you've got to worry about like tipping them over with oil and gas leaking out if you want to clean it. But so long as you take precautions, you can tip those things over and just spray them down with a hose to clean them off. With a battery-powered mower, things are far different. You have to be much more careful with water around your machine. Most battery mowers really should be stored in a shed or in a garage when they're not in use, mostly because the battery is so important. The batteries cost almost the same amount as the mower themselves. So you've got to take care of those batteries and keep them dry. Before I get to the last big surprise that I had about battery-powered lawnmowers, I wanted to say thank you for watching this far into the video, and I want to encourage you to hit the subscribe button. I have so many video ideas in my head. Some of them I'm planning out, some of them I'm currently taking steps to produce. I'd love for you to subscribe and watch them as they are released. Some of them are case studies, some of them are reviews, but If you find this helpful, if you find this channel helpful and interesting, please hit the like button and subscribe. Now, let's get to the last big surprise. The last main thing that I want to present to you today is my surprise as to how much I would enjoy mowing the grass. I've always enjoyed mowing the lawn. I've always enjoyed lawn care and tending to the grass, but I've always used big, heavy Briggs & Stratton gas and oil powered lawnmowers. They're heavy, they're dirty, they're hard to maintain. Every spring, after winter, you gotta tune them up. They're hard. They're hard to use, and we all get used to it, but they are hard to use and to maintain. But battery powered mowers are so easy to use. There's basically no maintenance at all. Every now and then I flip them over, I don't spray, but I scrape the debris off of the underside of the deck, and that's about it. You can remove the blades and sharpen them if you'd like. Lots of people do that. Honestly, most people don't, but you can. They're super duper easy to maintain, and they always start up, so long as you keep the battery dry, of course. But they just work. You don't need self-propulsion, so moving them around your yard, cutting the grass, doing everything with them is very, very easy. It is not labor intensive. It makes it a joy, really. I don't know if a joy is going to be the way that everyone describes it, but it is a joyful part of my day to go out into the lawn and cut the grass, even if it's like 90 to 95 degrees. Like, it's not that big of a deal. The battery mowers are plenty strong, so everything that I've already said about how they're underpowered and the blades don't spin as much and blah, 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 they're still strong enough, especially if you get one of the higher end models. The higher end models cost just as much as one of the higher end gas models. So, big deal. They're plenty strong enough. I've got very thick grass. Now, I don't let it get overgrown, but it cuts it just fine. All of them do. All of them do. They're strong enough. They're light. You don't need self-propelled. They store so easily. You can just, after you finish mowing, like instantly after you finish mowing, you can just fold them up and store them vertically right on the side of a wall in your garage. You can't do that with a gas-powered mower. I just enjoy using them. They're quieter. I'm able to mow the grass when my kids are out on the lawn with me. They are not afraid of the sound. In years past, anytime I had to do lawn maintenance outside meant I was outside alone. Now I don't have to be like that. My kids can run around playing ball behind me. I really enjoy it. The family situation is better using them, and I don't think they really cost any more than a gas-powered mower, simply because I don't have to maintain it. I don't have to buy gas for it. I don't have to buy oil for it. I don't have to tune them up every year. So long as I take care of the batteries are going to last for years. And at that point, buy a new battery or buy a new mower. Big lawn tools are basically toys for grown men, so why not just buy another one? I love these lawnmowers. I love making this channel. I love tending to the grass. Please hit the subscribe. I've got other things coming out on lawn care, not just lawnmowers. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.